And good Thursday morning. Welcome to episode 35 of the Inside Drive podcast. I've got Jay and Jay, not Johnson and Johnson, but Jay Henley and Jay Chapman in the studio with me today. I'm excited about that. Sorry for the delay getting started. We were kind of going off on some tangents. Maybe we should have been on the show when we were talking about them, but that's neither here nor there. So again, appreciate y'all tuning in. I want to give a shout out to Juice and Sunsets. Check out their Facebook page, Juice and Sunsets, or just go to their website, juiceandsunsets.com. Great local, freshly squeezed juice. Got turmeric, got ginger. Some have cayenne pepper. All really, really good for yourself. I've been doing it now for a while in conjunction with all the other healthy stuff I'm trying to do. You know, new year, new me. We're going for all that kind of stuff. And of course, Golf Plus. Golfers who want to improve their score, Golf Plus is the place to be in Northwest Florida with all the tools and expertise to help you. Their shop is filled with every golf brand you could possibly want. Their repair shop, second to none. Fast tour van quality repairs every time. Golf Plus has been featured in both Golf and Golf Digest magazine as one of the top club fitters in the country. They can help maximize your potential with their fitting simulator and carts. Don't have time to play a real round of golf? Book bad weather. Book a round on one of two of their simulators. Their newly renovated golf shop is your go-to for club fittings, repairs, and retails. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? I'll start with you, Jay Henley.
Mighty fine, 2026.
Mighty fine, 2026 indeed is here. We're already 8 days into it. Do want to do a real quick shout out. Ryan's 14th birthday is tomorrow, so I want to give her a shout out and a happy birthday because we obviously won't be live tomorrow as well. Tell everybody real quick about your new venture. It seems to be popping up all over the place.
Yeah, so it's a golf simulator. It's a mobile golf simulator.
On the move.
On the move. Parties, weddings, corporate events.
Dude, that's cool.
So we'll see how it goes.
Specializes in bachelorette parties.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
look at him.
Hey, look, I can come to you. Your rules, your party, your alcohol, your food.
BYOB?
Anything. There's no rules.
There's no rules.
There's no rules.
Other than don't
Do you bring clubs with you?
So
like just in case people
don't.
Oh
yeah.
Clubs,
we got clubs.
The whole thing, man.
The whole thing. You can play Augusta National. You can play Sawgrass. You can play anything you want.
Dang, yours has Augusta on it.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Dude, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Augusta's on TrackMan. It might be. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact.
It's called the Georgia Club.
Isn't there an actual Georgia club too, though?
There is. Yeah, up near Athens. But yeah, I think the other night I set it up and I set up hole 16 at Augusta.
Nice.
And
did you skip it?
No.
I wonder how you could skip it on a simulator.
We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah,
we're gonna figure that out. But it was 172 yards. I had the Sunday pin, the stimp meter.
The Sunday pin, the last year's Sunday pin or the traditional?
The traditional.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Kind of right over the bunker where you can slip it right back down to the hole.
Yeah. Put that stimp meter on 14, so you can go down to 4 or 14. And I hit 507 irons. I did have one hole in one.
Nice.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You got blisters all over your hands?
All over. Yeah. I mean, man, because in that simulator, man, like
you actually hit 500?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a quick aside, but it's relevant. Have you guys heard the breaking 90 just putting rule for an amateur? Have you heard this?
I know they just released all these new rules of golf.
No, I'm saying like there was some golf talking head who
breaking 90 at Augusta.
Only from you take the average amateur.
Yep.
You start them shot one on the green, and they cannot break 90. That's the.
Yep.
Yeah. You believe that?
We talked about it on the radio show.
Okay.
I think we both agreed that he's played it. I've never played it. I mean, I've been to it 20 times.
2002. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say because it's the 100 amateur shoot, like somebody who normally shoots 100.
Yeah.
Right.
So that'd be like a 38 handicap ish.
Yeah.
Those greens are so.
You can't do it.
Most people have never seen a green like that or played on a green like that, especially if you're not a great golfer. Obviously, if you're shooting 100, you're not a good putter.
Yeah.
Because you're probably losing a lot of strokes around the green. So after your first putt, you're probably going to either putt it off the green or just miss it so bad that you're probably going to 3-putt the next putt.
Excuse me, really quickly. Have you guys ever been to Fantasia in Orlando?
I've not.
Oh my gosh. It's like, it's like an official putt course. It's got like bunkers. It's crazy. I quit. We used to go in Orlando with the baseball team when I was with the Braves forever.
Yeah.
We used to do a spring training outing. I quit because they have those like super Donald Ross style turtle sugar. You'll putt it, it'll roll back down and I'm like, if Augusta's like that, there's no way I'm breaking it. I'm putting it off the green probably immediately.
Well, and even like if you get it within 3 feet,
I'll miss a 3-footer, no problem.
and if you're if you're a 38 handicap, 40 handicap, you don't make 3-footers on greens that are relatively like decent speed.
right.
So, and you miss there's some places on Augusta you miss a 3-foot putt past the hole by 2 inches. It's gone back 12 feet. And now it's going to take you 3 or 4 more to get back in. I think we determined like people would probably average 4 or 5 strokes per hole. So if they average 5 strokes per hole, that's putting you at a 90 anyway. So
jeez,
It's crazy.
it's a good discussion though.
Yeah.
And I would be nice if they actually did it.
Allow somebody to do it. Yeah,
just to see what happened.
They should.
Because obviously I know they have high handicaps play out there all the time with the members, but yeah, that would be interesting to see how it certainly happened. All right. You finished talking about your simulator?
Well, I was wondering if you could do it on the Stimp meter, we could just do it at your simulator.
Absolutely.
We just
I mean, you could just place the ball right there, and
just putt it. I'll come do it.
Yeah.
Let me out there.
Right. But no, I mean, that's my thing. It's like I think there was maybe a little rumor going around that I might be moving, but Panama City is going to be my home base, and
but you're regional though,
right?
You can travel.
I can travel.
I saw the new truck in the trailer.
Yep. And so that's the goal, is to kind of get out and try to move about this year and see a little bit of the world. Hopefully, if somebody will book with me, I mean that's the thing. I mean I got to get this thing booked, right, to get moving. But golfwithjay.com. We can set it up anywhere. We'll have a great time. It's great entertainment. So I can be to you within whatever Siri tells me to.
However long it takes. Yep.
Yeah.
Everett, we got video on the episode. My mom, I don't know, maybe it's her computer. She said there was no video. So I was like, I want to ask real quick. Just I'm sure we're still live with sound, but yeah, no, that'd be good, Jay.
I booked one part. So.
Oh man, that seems fun.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've already got a few people.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, she said okay now. Sorry about that. Just wanted to double check. Thanks, man. We appreciate you keeping a close eye on things there. So traveling golfwithjay.com.
Yes.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Bachelorette parties, bachelor parties. After prom, there's not a niche that you can't cater to. Is what I'm trying to say.
You got that right, Mulvey. You got that right.
Your dog's having a 10th birthday. Come out and rent the simulator. Little putt for the paws. I was like, have a good time. All right, well, Jay, you want to tell everybody about what you do, of course?
Of course, yeah. And I was just telling them when y'all were doing the camera thing, I want to get on that thing. I mean, that's going to be cool. Myself, Chapman Wealth Management, we help people basically just navigate, their financial terrain, in pursuit of whatever goals that they have. And, we just walk alongside people and help guide them through that process. So
awesome.
Any financial need that you have.
Chapman Wealth Management and golfwithjay.com. The two J's that I love when they come hang out with me here on the show. All right, let's talk a little bit about the bowl season. Was the SEC overrated this year?
Probably, I think, right?
Yeah.
You think they get a little bit of that bias from that ESPN TV money? The College Football Playoff Committee is a lot of those guys too. So, it seems like there may be a little bias there. And the reason why I think we bring that up this season is because the SEC's bowl record just wasn't as good this year. I think directly against the Big Ten, they were 1-4, but then overall in total conference, they were just 4-9. The Big Ten directly was 1-3. And the Big Ten was 9-4 in their bowl games. And of course, this is one of the first years where we don't have Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, or Georgia in the Final Four. Why do you guys think that is? I've got some thoughts on it too after you guys give me your opinion.
I don't know. NIL
probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I just think, in my opinion, I think the depth isn't there as much as it used to be. And it's much more of a level playing field. It's not shocking. It's not secretive that, the SEC, it always kind of had paid for players, whether it was under the table, whether it was directly, and that's kind of been going on in all of college football forever. Now it's legal. So now everybody can do it.
Well, and I never really quite understood this argument from the standpoint of like, well, okay, then what's changed? Like at Orgeron, remember we talked about this. If you go in the back door, now you just go in the front door. What was being done? But to your point, the availability of players to move, the mobility that the player has, I think is a huge. Yeah, because he could just leave. Like there was a narrative that like at one point the Alabama's twos were better than most people's ones.
Yep.
Well,
And
now that's just not.
Now
yeah.
their twos are elsewhere.
That's exactly right. Now they're at Indiana or these
Yep.
other places,
Yep.
but also the resources, now that it probably is above board.
Yeah. I think the morality of college football changed from like you had to have like bad morals and wanted to do stuff that wasn't legal in order to get the players that you wanted to get. Now everybody doesn't have to worry about that part of it. They just need to get money to be able to do it. And you got guys like Mark Cuban that are alumni at your university donating
Or
hundreds of millions of
Barstool.
dollars. Yep.
What's the guy's
Dave
name?
Portnoy.
Yes, he
Yep.
committed like $10 million to the
Yep.
Bryce Underwood kid or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're just like, yeah, it's bound to happen. Yeah.
And it's certainly leveled the playing field, that's for sure. Is that good for the sport or bad for the sport, Jay?
Good for the fans, obviously. I mean, every game seems to come down to a field goal, in my opinion. Good for viewership, but it's just everything is so tight niche now. Like racing. It's everything
You
is
always
so.
take it back to racing.
I know, right, or whatever. But I mean, like everything is so. What's the word I'm looking for?
There's so much parity amongst.
Parity
yeah,
is
that's
the
right,
word
yeah.
I'm looking for. Yeah, everything's so. But it wasn't like that, before, obviously.
Well, and it's almost like everybody thought, well, with this NIL money, the rich were going to get richer. And it almost seems like it's the opposite of that, in my opinion. The rich maybe aren't getting as rich as they used to. So there's all these other teams that can pop up and, have as much success. It's kind of the crazy thing if you look at it, like the SEC as a whole, in my opinion, there's not the superstars that we used to have. I mean, you still got like the Chambliss kid from Ole Miss, who's an absolute stud. You still got great quarterbacks, but you don't have these these quarterbacks that, Alabama always used to have, the running backs, the Derrick Henrys, the Jahmyr Gibbs and stuff like that. Now, I know you got the number one running back recruit coming in this next year, as of now anyway. So it just seems like the SEC as a whole isn't as powerful as it used to be. It may still be the best conference from top to bottom, but a lot of their wealth and their talent is getting spread out through the country.
Yeah.
So it's creating that more parity and things like that. Because, I think if you asked the casual fan what they thought of the college football playoff and the 4 teams that are left, they'd probably say that they were excited about that they don't have the 4 teams that I had mentioned before, because they probably feel more connected to it. Now, obviously, the people that are alumni and long-term fans and stuff like that aren't as happy because their team's not necessarily in it. But certainly a different time and all that stuff. Currently, 35.1% of all college football players are in the transfer portal. Yeah. Which equates to about, I think it's like 3,800 or 3,600 kids in there right now.
I'll go back to this. So I had a thought, which is kind of crazy, but mainstream media 20 years ago, like that's all we ever heard about was like Yankees and Red Sox in baseball, right? Like, and so now it's not mainstream media. Now it's like
social media.
Yeah, now it's social media. And
can I be like a little bit of a nerd here?
Please.
Yeah, there's like more market dynamics at play now, right?
Yeah.
So instead of having the concentration of power, so to speak, within a few schools, you have a sort of a more diffuse situation where, players are more free from a mobility standpoint, and more players have, more schools have more capital to sort of attract these players. And so you're seeing a sort of like the market, the market dynamics are sort of sorting out this in real time. I'm wondering how, is that Georgia lawsuit, has that come to settlement yet or no?
I don't think so. And then you got that kid from Washington who's trying to breach his contract. He signed, there's the quarterback for Washington.
I saw this.
Signed his new NIL deal for the upcoming season, and then saw where the kid went from Cincinnati to a Texas Tech, and he's getting paid $5 million for the first 2 seasons, and then getting a 1% kind of royalty as well. I think he saw that. He's like, well, maybe he's probably only making only a couple million, $1 or $2 million at Washington. And he's probably like, but I could probably go make some more money somewhere else after seeing what happened there with that kid, and then trying to breach that contract. But Washington's going to hold him to that contract. So hopefully they do, because the NCAA really doesn't do anything anymore. They really don't govern football, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everything's just happening. And there has to be some reeling back in at some point. Like
right.
we talked about before with the pendulum.
Yeah.
It's got to swing back. What that looks like, I have no idea. But there's a lot of simple solutions to kind of regulate this NIL stuff. But you're going to get a lot of pushback from these big powerhouses and the Indianas and these other teams that have now come onto the scene because of what they're being able to do with the money that they can get into the university legally.
Well, I know you're a financial guy now,
sure, yeah.
But let's go back to when you're 20, 21 years old. What are y'all doing with $5 million at Mulvey being 21 years old? What are you doing?
Making bad decisions.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's probably the same.
I mean, if I had that now, obviously you'd know what to do.
Right. Yeah, same idea. Yeah, cars, whatever. I mean, not good stuff. I mean, I don't. But hopefully, a lot of these people have people that are advising them. I know that a lot of the agencies that they're with have teams of people that sort of help them manage some of this stuff. But at the same time, it's funny that you say that and I want to take this back to just a second, really quickly. To equate it to my time playing baseball, right? So like, because again, I am an advocate for player freedom, player mobility, player to go get the best circumstances for his own situation. Because when I was, sort of, this is still actually the landscape in professional baseball, and I don't actually know how it is in football, but because maybe it's not as prevalent with the practice squad. But you have a 25 active man roster, but you have a 40-man roster. So you have the 15 players that are on the major league roster for the team in AAA. Well, you have options. Right, the team can option you down for a year and burn one of your options, but you can only burn one option per year. So once you burn that option, let's say you're in spring training on the major league roster, and they option you down to AAA for the season. Well, they can call you up and down 50 times that year. You still only have burned one option, and you have 3 of those. So it takes you effectively 4 years, until you're out of options. And once they option you down, you go on waivers. So any team can claim you. But I've watched teams sort of abuse this, right? They have guys that would definitely be major league players that are sitting in AAA because the team has protected them so that if one of their stars goes down, they know they can come right in and fill in. But I've watched guys, I mean, not their careers ruined, but their careers significantly impacted by the fact that, hey, I'm on the major, I have no rights. I have no rights.
I have to sign your rights away.
Exactly right. I sit in AAA for 3 full years as a backup. To one of the star players in case he goes down. And I'm just, those are 3 years that I could be playing Major League Baseball. So I didn't, that to me is limiting.
It's like indentured servitude.
Indentured servitude. And you're making, you still get afforded some of the benefits, but your pay is substantially less, some of that. And so you're like, gosh, it is nice to kind of see in college that if a player says, hey, like, let's take, for instance, the Austin Mack kid from Alabama. If they tell the Keelan Russell kid is going to come, now that Ty's going to the NFL and the Keelan Russell is the #1 quarterback recruit, whatever, if he's going to start, now that Austin Mack kid's, okay, I'll go somewhere else.
He
has had the option to go somewhere else.
He's not going to waste all that time. I don't want to say wait, but you know what I mean? Waste all that time sitting behind.
Is that good or bad?
For me, for the player, it's good. For the coaches, it's terrible. Because now if Keelan Russell gets hurt, your backup is now playing in Indiana or whatever.
Go find somebody else.
Absolutely. But for the player, it's much better. There's much more mobility, 1,000%. Much more freedom. Yeah.
And you're actually making some, and I was never against the players getting paid. I just thought there had to be some, regulation on this kind of stuff. But I'm sure it'll come down the line. I mean, we've been saying that for a couple of years now, and here we are. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But certainly it's the business of college football, no doubt about that. Want to bounce over to the NFL side of things. Just a little update on all the Black Monday was this past Monday. Black Monday, Jay, you know what that is?
I do not know.
I'm about to tell you. It's the Monday after the final regular season game in the NFL. And that's usually when a lot of coaches will get let go during the year as well. But the majority of the coaching changes and GM changes happen after that final day of the regular season. They call it Black Monday. So Miami Dolphins fired Mike McDaniel. The Ravens fired John Harbaugh. A lot of people are like, why did they fire John Harbaugh? In my opinion, he was there for 18 years. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. He did really well. But it's kind of like Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. At some point, you've got to make a change just to make a change.
New blood.
You do the same thing over and over and over again. Obviously, that'd be a great job. And I know Stefanski and a couple of the other guys are already looking at that gig because that'll be a great gig. I mean, anybody would want to coach Lamar Jackson. The Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon. Pete Carroll got fired from the Raiders. The Giants fired Brian Daboll. That was earlier this year.
Wow.
And then the Browns fired Kevin Stefanski. Titans a while ago fired Brian Callahan. And of course, Jay, your former Atlanta Falcons fired Raheem Morris. Falcons also fired their GM, Terry Fortnott. Or I think it's Fortno. And then the Miami Dolphins fired Chris Gear, but kept a couple other people there in the side of things. Where would you want to go, Jay, if you were a available head coach? So the openings are the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Giants, the Browns, the Titans, and the Falcons.
Oh, it'd be the Raiders because you can only go up from where they're at currently.
That's fair.
And you're in Vegas. You're in Vegas.
Number one pick.
Gambling.
Number one pick coming to the Raiders.
Yep. Mendoza.
And,
probably.
And Miami. So. I would love to take over Mike McDaniel.
Well, I mean, you look like Mike McDaniel, so
right. Yeah, let's go.
It'd be an easy swap. Yeah, doppelganger kind of action there. What about
I actually didn't know that he had gotten fired.
I think that must be recently because I didn't know he was fired either.
I would probably go to Baltimore only because they have the infrastructures like
Yeah,
in
they've got a
place.
great roster,
Yeah,
too.
they're ready to go.
Yeah, an hour ago he got fired.
Yeah. I was wondering when you said that, I thought, wow, I didn't.
When
know
I was
that.
reading it, I was confused. I was like, I thought they said they were keeping him.
Yeah, so did I. And the whole Tua situation is fascinating.
Yep.
Yeah, you know,
what are you going to do with him? Are you going to, because he's obviously still on contract for a little bit longer.
you just punch him, right? I mean, you have to. I mean,
Or draft somebody, sit behind, draft a, if it came like a Ty Simpson or somebody like that, let him sit behind Tua for a year, knowing that you're probably going to do like what you did this previous year, and just know that you got to give him at least one more year to kind of get going. That's kind of the tough part, because it's all about these quarterbacks. It seems it's all about the landing spot they go to. It's not the talent they have coming out of college. It's the talent they have coming in college, plus where they end up going with the head coach or whoever it may be. I mean, you've seen a lot of guys like the Darnolds and people like that have went to terrible organizations to start their career. All of a sudden, go somewhere else and they get a little bit more excitement, a little more development, and then boom, they're playing for one of the best teams in the league now with the Seattle Seahawks.
Can I make a point here?
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Please.
This is something I've watched a lot more NFL football. I was captivated by the Phillip Rivers situation.
Yeah,
I mean, but I've just watched a lot more NFL football this year, and it's surprising to me. I never really made this correlation before, but it's amazing to me how different football is from baseball in the sense that there's a lot of individual aspects to baseball. Right, I make the pitches. It helps if the shortstop's good, but the shortstop catches the balls and then he hits. Yep. And you just sort of do your own individual job. A lot of times I didn't even know the catcher's name. That's hyperbole, but some of it's true.
Reality,
like we get traded all the time. I was traded 3 times. It's kind of the same idea. But in football, it really, really matters who is governing the schematics of your offense and the skill players in the offensive line. Like you look at Tua 2 years ago, he literally leads the NFL in passing yards.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, and then now he's like can't even complete. It's just crazy. Like, but he had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and anyways, I didn't realize how team oriented
extremely.
It matters a lot.
Probably the biggest team sport out of all of them, in my opinion, anyway. Obviously, basketball can be more individual because one person can dominate and take over a game. Yeah. But football, you're not going to run the football without an offensive lineman. You're not going to get pressure on the quarterback without a defensive line. All that stuff. It all starts with the trenches and then goes out from there.
That's right.
And then obviously you got to have a good special teams unit as well. That was still a little bizarre that he missed that short 44-yard kick to go to the playoffs. There's a lot of weird things that happen in the NFL this year that make you go, what's going on out there? And we've talked about it before. The mob, the people, like there's so many more hands in gambling nowadays that you just, you look at movies like The Replacements, where the kicker, I forget his name, but he was in trouble with debts he owed, and they were trying to influence what he was doing out there in the field.
He's like, is that pathetic?
If is that like a concrete example of stuff that actually happens out there? Right. But we'll probably never actually know because everybody who's on the inside of that.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this video on TikTok where the guy like does the false start symbol before the gentleman? That is a little crazy. Like
if you start going down some of those rabbit holes, there's a lot of paths. You're like, that does not look like it was not done on purpose. That makes sense.
Or you'll see like open sacks that the guy just kind of runs by.
Somebody will be running down the field and a guy will go to not make a tackle and just kind of peel off. Like
you're just like,
and a guy got in trouble in college for that. I think I've talked about it on the show before, where he was an offensive player and he was running wide open down for a touchdown and then just runs out of bounds. It's like, what is going on? Like,
it's Roger Goodell in an ivory tower pushing buttons like Hunger Games.
Is it? It's plausible at this point.
Because at the end of the day, the matchups, the people playing in these big games are what drives the big time money. And obviously, NFL is such a massive business, a plus $100 million business. Pretty crazy stuff. I know we're going to get to I got a ton of, I know you even got a couple of stories that I've fed
I'm excited.
Hopefully you'll read. So I've got
one that happened here in Bay County a few weeks
ago.
Oh,
wow.
I've actually
I can't wait to hear it.
I've actually got that on my list. Yep, absolutely. If you haven't heard about that,
I probably haven't had. I mean, I'm locked.
Yeah, you're
I'm locked.
You're in the zone.
And I don't have a lot.
Which is good. Yeah, because if you're not on social media, which
I'm not.
Bless you that you can do that. I love that. But yeah, you don't see all these crazy things that happen.
The motto of that story, the motto of this company is live a creative life. Now, I'll leave it at that.
There you go. But, there you go. We'll dive into it here in
just
a second.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
Real quick, I did want to get into the semifinal playoff games. Obviously, we got the one coming up tonight, Ole Miss and Miami. Jay, your initial thoughts on that one?
Ooh.
Well, you know those Gators are really rooting for Ole Miss because they don't like Miami to win. So,
Do they like Ole Miss though? Because Lane Kiffin stiffed them.
well, that's true. Oh man,
But
I
Lane
didn't
Kiffin's
think
not
about
at Ole Miss anymore. So
Yeah, still
that's
getting
true.
paid out for their wins,
which is insane.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen from LSU. I mean, they've done some stupid stuff in the day too. So, but to pay your new head coach for another team's wins is crazy. Maybe they didn't think they would win. I think Lane Kiffin obviously didn't think they would win either because he let his coaching staff stay and then he tried to bring them back. Now, I believe the majority of them are still there for this game as well. I know Charlie Weiss Jr. is there as well because if they were all gone, the line would have moved drastically in Miami's favor. And it's been hanging around 3.5 this whole time. So now if you see a huge move before the game, you might want to hedge or change your bet to Miami. But I'm not telling you what to do on the betting side of things. But who do you think wins? Go ahead.
I feel like this is Ole Miss's only opportunity for a national championship. So I'll give it to them this year, and I will.
Do you think
go
they're going
with
all
Ole
the
Miss.
way?
Yeah,
you
I think this is their only chance. I mean, I really do. So
I'll go with Miami. I'll be honest. I was surprised at how physical they looked versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
I was actually because if you watched Ohio State, Indiana during the year,
That was
I
a
thought they were neck and neck.
hitting big time game. Yep.
Yeah, and they were like similar. I thought in physicality, and Miami's dominated
Yep.
that game, man.
The biggest thing, in my opinion, for Ole Miss and Miami is Lacey's gonna have to run the football because if you're in third and long against Miami's front four, I don't know if obviously Chambliss had a fantastic game in the previous game where he kind of put the team on his back and quote unquote came back against Georgia.
yeah,
And even when Georgia went up late in the game, went right down the field with some unbelievable plays to put their amazing kicker. If this comes down to kicking, I give the advantage to Ole Miss. But Miami's front four, Ole Miss's front four is pretty good too. They did really well against Georgia. But Miami's defense is stout. I think maybe it's slightly better than Georgia's. So they're going to have to be able to run the ball. If they can run the ball, I would give it to Ole Miss. If they can't run the ball, then Miami, I think, is the advantage in that one. I'm still going to pick Ole Miss in this because I think Ole Miss also wants to. That whole team hates Lane Kiffin now. So if they can win, make it to the national championship without him at the helm, that's like the biggest middle finger to Lane Kiffin than I could see. And imagine if they go on to win the whole thing.
Right.
So I'll take Ole Miss over Miami in this one.
Did you hear Pete Golding's little sound blurb about the offensive coordinator?
Yep.
Thought that was pretty neat.
I like Pete Golding too. He seems like a
He was at Alabama for a little. As a
everybody
defensive
is.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's true.
has
That's true.
all these coaches that are the head
Yeah,
coaches
the
of these
tree.
teams have all
Yeah,
part of
the
the
tree.
Saban tree.
Except for DeBoer, which is interesting.
Yep.
Right? The guy that took over at Alabama. Okay.
Absolutely. And then, of course, tomorrow night you got Indiana, Oregon, the rematch. Indiana, Oregon. Obviously, Indiana looked very dominant against Alabama, but I think that's a combination of Alabama just not being that great and Indiana being really good. Kind of was just a very uneven matchup, in my opinion. And then, obviously, Oregon's got Dante Moore and a powerhouse offense, good defense too as well. Indiana went into Autzen Stadium earlier this year and got the win in a close game in that one. What do you think, Oregon, Indiana?
I'm going to say Indiana. And really quick, I want to make a quick just comment. I thought that in regard to Alabama, obviously I'm a huge Alabama fan. It was that whole style of make fights kind of idea. You know what I mean? I think that sort of led people because they were sort of bipolar in a sense. There were sometimes like they look fantastic, but if you look at who it was versus, and then who the times they didn't look so good again, physical teams like Georgia and then Indiana. So. And Oklahoma had a really poor offense.
Yep.
And so it was, but I think people took that win, versus Oklahoma and thought, hey, maybe they can. Yeah. When they got to Indiana, they were out physical, in every metric.
Indiana did what Alabama used to do to everybody else. And in my opinion, that's coaching. That's the discipline.
Yeah.
And Indiana is such there's I think second in the NCAA for penalties per game. They've only had one fumble the entire year.
Well coached, man.
They're very well coached, very disciplined. And when you get a physical, well coached, disciplined team that doesn't turn over the ball, it's very, very tough to beat them. Jay, what do you think? Indiana or Oregon?
Well, I have Oregon against Georgia in the national championship game, so
you can still get one of them right.
Yeah, so I'll go Oregon, and if they come out in black, they win. If they come out in green, they lose.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's about as that's pretty much like anything when you're betting. You pick a color, pick a horse number that you like, all that kind of stuff. Usually it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
So you going with Oregon?
Yep.
Oregon and Miami.
said Ole
No,
Miss.
I went Ole Miss.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And then you've got Indiana and
Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go Ole Miss and Indiana. That's who I think is gonna. And it'd be kind of cool to see Indiana. It's a great story to go from being the doormat of the Big Ten to back-to-back playoff appearances, and then of course your second year when you make the playoff, you're undefeated Big Ten champion. Again, playing against Oregon in a neutral site. That's out there. That's down there in Atlanta, so not as far for Indiana to travel as Oregon. I don't know how much that really matters. People seem to put a lot of stuff on that. And then of course, Ole Miss and Miami, pretty much the same distance. They both have to travel. One's a little bit more over water than the other. But
how can you not root for the Mendoza too?
That's true.
What a great guy he seems to be.
Just your consummate, or you're just your professional.
Yeah,
that you would,
sorry.
really into obviously giving all the credit to glory to God, all that good stuff, and then just thanking his teammates. He just says all the. I think he's going to be a great pro. The only concern with me with Mendoza is Indiana's offense is a purely RPO style offense. So his ability to read the field, it's basically he's reading whether to hand the ball off or not, and then he's looking at his first read. If the first read's open, he's throwing it. If it's not, then he runs. So when he goes to the pro style game, there's just not as much RPOs. Your defensive end guys are a lot faster, tougher to read, and you've got to go through all of your progressions on the NFL side of things. So
and this speaks right back to the Philip Rivers thing that I was so captivated by. When he got up there and made all the checks, and it just shows you that in the NFL, if you can't assess a defense's, prior to snap, you're in trouble.
Yep. And that's what makes certain quarterbacks so special. You guys know, everybody knows I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan. And the reason why I think a lot of people misdiagnosed what he did, why he wasn't they thought he wasn't going to be great in NFL. It's because in college, like I just said, with Mendoza, it's RPO. You're not having to read all these different routes, the different formations and all this stuff as much as you have to do in college football. So his elite trait is being able to know where to go with the football before he takes that snap based on what happens out there on the field versus being, 6'5", like Josh Allen, 250 pounds, where you can just run over everybody and you're just a physical, anomaly.
But if you look at a lot of the great ones, that's sort of the defining attribute is what you just said.
Yep.
I do want to say this really quickly. Sorry, can I say this? No. I want to, I'm throwing a little jab here. If you don't mind.
Oh, snap.
No, well, the thing is, think about.
I'm used to it.
Do you remember when Philip Rivers came back versus Seattle, in Seattle, what was said? He threw for 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, whatever.
I don't
that
remember.
game proved to be pretty impressive based on what
that
Brock
was the
Purdy.
field goal game. Yep.
They were winning with 42 seconds left. Okay, so Brock Purdy, and by the way, I want to say this: the interception was 10 seconds left. Throw the ball. I mean, he effectively threw no picks. So 125 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks really.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy, who is is one of the premier elite quarterbacks in the NFL today, roughly had the same game minus the touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, that just shows you kind of.
Well, Philip Rivers in the Niners game too. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I watched that.
It was so impressive that he would get to the line, and basically, I feel like Indiana just said, "Hey, what you see, call what you want to call after you see what you see." And he was just, he was putting people on, hot routes and stuff like that, and he was calling the offense. It looked like after he got out there, behind the center, which was still pretty impressive because you never really lose this.
Right.
You can lose this, and you can lose your legs and all that stuff, but. When you're the ability to diagnose things quickly is one of the best attributes you can have as a quarterback in the NFL, like you said.
It was so fun to watch.
It was really, really cool to watch. And, awesome. I don't know if you saw his last game of the season, his whole high school football team came out to watch him. How special for them and for Rivers with his basketball team family where you can have 5-on-5.
He literally has 10 kids.
10
That's
kids,
crazy.
Yeah. If mom and dad play, then they can have 1 sub for each team there.
Very good. Yeah.
All right, Jay. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, a little quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll dive into some of our crazy stories, including, like Jay said, one right here in Panama City Beach, Florida. You listen to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
People are who build community. The self-starters, the friendly neighbors, the ambitious workers. And that's exactly who our members are. We're PCU. And with us, banking is made better. So whether you need a rewards checking account, financial products that assist with travel, easy business loans, or affordable auto loans, come see us so we can build the community together. Panhandle Credit Union. Banking made better.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive, episode 35 here. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you hanging out with us today. Of course, got Jay Chapman and Jay Henley in studio with us. It's been a while since I've had a Thursday show with Christmas and New Year's both falling on Thursday, so I've got a backlog of crazy stories that we always do on Thursday. Like I said before the break, we're going to start with this one's right from WJHG right here in Panama City Beach. Visit Panama City Beach official arrested on charges of grand theft. A local tourism official has been arrested for alleged grand theft of over $100,000 and fraudulently using a credit card. Aaron Lee serves as the Vice President of Administration for Visit Panama City Beach. The documents shared with News Channel 7 by the Bay County Sheriff's Office say that Lee was trusted with an American Express card for official Visit PCB business. The affidavit says that Visit PCB President Dan Rowe noticed a discrepancy on the card that dates back to April of 2024. 5 of those charges, according to the complaint, added up to over $107,000. The document goes on to allege that Lee had over 1,000 charges on the American Express card, some of which were used for airlines, restaurants, cruises, hotels, watches. Lee told police all the charges were a mix-up and that he had to use his Apple Wallet for the charges, believing that he was using his personal card. But I believe that. The affidavit shows that we would later admit knowingly using the card for some of these charges, like his house's water filter system and internet bill. Bay County Sheriff's Office plans on holding a press conference. This has already happened. This was this past Monday at 11 a.m. A lot more information kind of came out. There was an interesting development today. I don't even know if this is real. This was probably from a news site, but there was a letter sent from the Director Deputy of Policy to Visit Panama City Beach back in May that was basically saying that they were not in compliance with what they had to do. So some more developing things will happen for this. But what's the moral of this story, Jay?
Don't spend other people's money unless you
vote to do it.
Unless you vote to do it, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's just kind of one of those things that, how many times have we seen stories where somebody has a credit card that is being fraudulently used for businesses? I mean, when I worked for Kemper Sports, they got rid of credit cards because there was a situation in California where an accountant spent like $250,000 on the company credit card, and then there was some kind of lawsuit that happened too, and the management company ended up having to pay something out, which was wild.
That's crazy.
And then I bet the negligence claim is like the number one claim too. So I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Ignorance. I was just, hey, I was just, oops.
My biggest question is, and again, I don't know who's going to watch this or not, but I've been in business where you're looking at your books all the time, and you have your balance sheet and you have your income statement. If you're spending all this cash that isn't, going on to your income statement, your balance sheet cash and your actual cash on hand is going to be way out of whack. Mm-hmm. This should have been found.
You're saying by the head of the company,
whoever was in charge of the books for Visit PCB. I don't know if that's somebody with Bay County or just because I know it's the Bay County Tourism Development Council, but this should have been caught a long time ago. So my opinion is somebody was overlooking something, but I guess that's neither here nor there, and we'll figure out everything as it continues to come back or come out. Funny other story that I found in kind of conjunction with this, I'll just read the title of the article. Kinley Lee is accused of embezzling $883,000 from Coldstream Country Club in the Cincinnati area while working as the club's controller. So kind of the same thing. He was using the company credit card to pay for stuff on himself. $900,000. Again, same thing. Like
how does it get that big? Yeah.
Well, and how do you not catch it when you're balancing your books every month? I don't really know. Maybe the person wasn't balancing the books every month, and that's why it got caught.
Wasn't there a Jacksonville Jaguars accountant a year or two ago got caught? He
was one of their execs. Yeah. We talked about that story as well. Yeah.
Well, this is, I'm sort of making somewhat of a jump, but this is the Ohtani deal too. Remember, there's like $4 million was missing from the interview. Like, this is before he signed the big contract. You're like, you didn't notice $4 million was gone.
It was the quickest sweep under the rug story that the MLB has ever done, because if that ended up happening, that could have been a huge disaster for Major League Baseball.
And the narrative was like, you hadn't signed a $700 million contract yet. Like $4 million to you at that time was still, you would have a noticeable amount.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you miss that, right?
How did you miss seeing that your interpreter, your probably best friend, was gambling on stuff that you were paying him the money to do? But that's
anyway. They just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then the guy that went and had all the Augusta merchandise had his warehouse down in Tampa and was selling it off. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna get caught if you're
Come
doing
on.
something
I know.
shady, for the most part, unless everybody involved is shady as well, like the law enforcement, however you want to do it. There's certainly obviously ways to.
But even so, it gets
yeah,
found out sooner or later.
the rule. I mean, and that's like this guy spit out. Like, did they not think they were gonna figure it out at some point? His argument was that he had a big trust settlement coming, so everybody thought that he was going on all these trips from this trust settlement. Which obviously
that's what he was telling
that
me
was
where the
his
funds came from.
excuse.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it
Gosh.
all started with "Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead." You
Oh,
remember
the
when she
movie?
had the job and
Yeah.
she was going through petty cash, and next thing you know, there's new TVs in the
Yeah.
living room.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that's
movie.
when it
I
That
haven't
is.
seen
That's
in a long time.
Yeah, that was
You
a
took me
major
back.
throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took me back there. I
Yeah.
like
Did
it.
y'all get chills?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
Love it, yep.
I can see some of that
I
in my
can see
head.
the basement
Yep.
downstairs. Didn't they have somebody like kidnap or like
The dishes are done, dude. You
Yeah.
remember that?
because they were starting to revolt against each other because they didn't like the leadership, and but didn't they have like somebody like captive down in the basement or something like that?
No.
Maybe that was one of the kids they tied up one of the times.
They sent the babysitter obviously died, the old lady, and
Yep.
then she they tied her to the top of the car and like sent her to the crematory or funeral home, whatever.
Just kinda
And
left
she
her
had the
Just dropped her off.
yeah. And then the 17-year-old who I can't remember, she was a good looking lady.
Yeah, it was one of the more famous younger actors at the time. I know
Yeah.
exactly who you're talking about. Yep.
But yeah, she got a summer job just to kind of keep it going.
And then the hot dog truck, right?
Yeah.
The boyfriend.
The
of
boyfriend.
that, yep.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. It all started with that.
That was a good movie.
Getting with
Thanks for
petty
taking us
cash.
back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's kind of a, the Niners are obviously one of the most injured teams in the last several years. Here's an interesting theory on why. This is starting to circle around the internet a little bit. San Francisco 49ers are statistically the most injured team in the NFL over the past decade. Since moving to Levi's Stadium in 2014, top 5 in adjusted games lost for 10 out of 11 seasons. 7 to 8 full Achilles patellar tendon ruptures, league average 2 to 3 year total. 40+ major hamstring calf tears. High ankle syndesmosis injuries every single year. No other franchise comes close. Let's scroll here. None of the usual explanations, turf, scheme, bad luck, hold up. One variable is unique, and the players know it in their guts. In early 2025, retired guard John Feliciano let it slip. Players have joked around about there being an electrical substation right next to the practice field and how that has led to Niners injury problems. I went to the Niners practice field. This is from the Shot Clock Instagram account. I went to the 49ers practice fields with a gasometer, which I guess measures milligauss, which is electrical stuff being put out. At 11 a.m. on a quiet Monday, well below peak load, it read 8.5 plus milligauss as the far edge of the fields. Inside the facilities, weight room, field room, recovery areas, potentially 10 to 25 milligauss, spiking higher during peak grid demand. The typical background exposure is 0.5 to 3 milligauss. So all this crazy, whatever that is coming through. Chronic ELF exposure is degrading to collagen integrity in the player's tendons, ligaments, and muscle tendon junctions. Damage is subtle until a routine cut or block ends in a catastrophic rupture. The injury pattern matches the biological fingerprint of prolonged ELF exposure documented in peer-reviewed research. Just thought that was interesting. And if I was the San Francisco 49ers, I'd either be one, looking for a new practice facility, or seeing if they could move that substation, because that's just crazy in my opinion as well. But it kind of makes sense. It's a conspiracy theory that may be another true conspiracy theory that'll come out there. Another little fun fact about the Seattle Seahawks. What's with the Seattle Seahawks being the best team in the NFC every time there is a new pope elected? So if you're a bettor and you like trends, in 2005, there was a new pope elected. The Seahawks went 13-3. They were the number 1 seed, and they made a Super Bowl appearance. They lost that Super Bowl. And then in 2013, a new pope was elected. They went 13-3, number 1 seed. They had a Super Bowl appearance, and they won that Super Bowl. That was the Marshawn Lynch and the what was their defense called? The Legion of Boom. And then this year, a new pope was elected. They went 14-3. They're the number 1 seed. So if you're a trend bettor, that might be an interesting trend to bet on there. Jay, you got one? You should, because we talked about this over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is this the one here?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear this.
No, that was the TDC one.
Oh, okay. That was
Yeah,
the
that was the
TDC
one.
one.
Oh, but
here.
this one is for here as well.
Oh, yeah. I
From-
forgot about that one.
So shortly before Christmas, I mean, everyone heard about it, but I definitely want to talk about it.
Everyone
because-
but Jay.
I know it's-
Yeah,
yeah,
he's dark on social media. That's why I love doing this with him.
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
I can't
But Hobby Lobby, you know, they're
That's one of my wife's
I
favorite
think
stores.
it's everyone's wife.
Yeah.
And the guys hate going in a Hobby
right.
Lobby.
But the motto is live a creative life. Well, this individual,
creative?
right before Christmas, lived a very creative life.
Okay.
What he did, and I'm not even looking at it, but what he did was, the man stripped of his clothes,
Shoot.
butt naked, right next to Hobby Lobby, and he walked in to the Hobby Lobby here on 23rd, and
Dude,
and was running around naked in Hobby Lobby, and so, anyways.
My wife, there's a 90% chance she was probably there when that happened. I have to talk to her about this. This is crazy.
But you know, of course, Florida Man, right? Everything is Florida Man.
Have you watched
like,
Florida Man on HBO Max?
oh,
It
no.
used to be on Netflix. If you have HBO Max, I would watch it. It's awesome.
God, we're
Florida
getting
Man.
a bad rap here. We're all for Florida
But
Man.
Yeah.
it's all great stuff to watch.
Yeah.
You're originally from Florida?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the only actual Florida man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. All right. He's
Everett's from
he's
Texas.
the-
You're from Georgia. I'm
Right.
from California, New Jersey, depending on, or South Carolina, depending on which one is.
yeah, but if you've been here more than 10 years, though.
I've been here more than 10 years. So
yeah.
I'm officially a Floridian.
Yep. Yep.
I like it.
hmm
That's crazy. This was here locally on
Yep.
23rd Street. Guy was running around naked.
Right in our own backyard.
And the video that I saw.
Oh my gosh, Jay! You
it-
saw there's a
Yeah,
video. of
there's
this?
video. The video I saw was you see this lady, like somebody's recording, and you see this lady immediately like turn her head and look, and the first thing she goes is, "Oh my God, where's my husband?" And like,
I'm,
Like, that
I'm
was-
glad she didn't say, "Oh my God, that's my husband." Right?
right, right. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
but I think let's see. This
Okay.
guy was checking out in the line over here at the Hobby Lobby, and he turned around, and there was this butt naked guy. They're trying to get the customers to check out. This guy says, "I just wanted to leave. I don't need my gifts anymore. I'm good. I'll get them at Walmart."
yeah, I'll take it elsewhere.
And
Let me out of
Walmart's
here.
any better? I don't know.
Is this the guy here?
You want to see the video?
No, I don't want to see the video. I want to.
See anything in the video?
Yeah,
other than this
you've
guy
seen it
getting-
as well.
Guy getting tackled by the cops
Naked.
naked.
God,
I'm
what a
sure
tough
cops have
job.
to tackle
Yeah,
naked
that's
people
tough.
all the time.
He's not going to maybe try to tase him at a distance first, and then.
Dare. Don't do drugs.
Yep.
Don't do
Drug
drugs.
abuse,
Yeah.
resistance, education. We've talked about this before, I believe.
Yeah.
It educated you on all the drugs you can do, even though they told you not to do them. They just here's all the different things.
The Happy Gilmore, when LT is talking,
Yep.
he's like, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke.
That's Waterboy.
Yeah, Waterboy.
Is that
That's
what-
right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Coach Cloud.
Yeah.
Don't smoke crack. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. I can't believe I did not hear about that. I have not heard about that.
Regardless of being on not on social media, you would think that would
Yeah,
came
that
in
would've
your
circulated.
conversation at some point. But
I think my wife. I think they have a Hobby Lobby club. I mean,
I'm sure
you
there's a
should have heard
Facebook
about
group,
this.
yeah,
I know. I'll
for
have to.
sure.
She definitely heard. I'm
for
sure.
sure.
I'm
got
out of the
more, Jay?
loop.
I can search. I'm not.
I've got several, so
Oh, I can't
Yeah.
wait. This is great.
I need to go fairly quick. When I need to stop, just tell me to stop and I'll stop. The original 1994 theatrical and initial home video release of the Santa Claus with Scott Calvin, Tim Allen quips 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number. After his ex-wife gives him a phone number for emergencies. Unbeknownst to the production team, the number was an active adult hotline.
Oh my god.
After the film's release on VHS in 1995, Disney began receiving reports of curious children calling the number and racking up hundreds of dollars in phone bills. In one case, a 10-year-old girl's family was charged $250. Disney initially tried to purchase the 1-800 number with the intent of disconnecting it, but they were unsuccessful. To resolve the issue, they spent significant resources to scrub the line from all subsequent releases.
Can I call it right now?
I think I mean, you can if you want to, if you want to be charged a bunch of money. This one's a little racy too, as well. Like I said, this is 3 weeks in the making. There's an Instagram account called Strip Reviews Gone Wild. This is a review from a strip club. I got stabbed here. The girls were hot and the dances were good, but I got stabbed here. Would consider going back.
Would consider.
Bro, why did a stripper tell me she saw a vision of me in a past life and I was a medieval stable boy who died in a tragic horse accident?
Please, Mulvey, call 1-800.
Oh gosh, he just called it on. He just called it
just
right
called
now.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Oh, it is not good.
It's an adult hotline.
It's
Are you
not
going to get
good.
charged for that?
I don't know. I
10
hope
seconds?
not. Yeah, I hope not.
He's like, y'all want to do the golf simulator?
There you go.
Just make it back.
Strip
Just make it
clubs.
back.
There's a new market for you. All right, I'll just do those two. All right, in 2001, Thaddeus Kolaski quit his job and moved to Vegas to professionally impersonate Alan from The Hangover. At his peak, he was making $250,000 a year partying on the Strip. A job AI can't replace. The Hangover is a cautionary tale about why you should never let the quietest member of your group plan a bachelor party in Las Vegas. The film follows a group of friends who wake up with no memory of the previous night and must piece together their actions to find a missing groom. The narrative structure allows the comedy to unfold as a mystery while showcasing the escalating absurdity of the situations the characters created. The Hangover became a massive cultural phenomenon due to the chemistry between the lead actors and the relatable fear of a night out going horribly wrong. It effectively redefined the modern R-rated comedy and balanced shock humor with well-placed plot and keeps the audience guessing until the end. And obviously this guy Thaddeus took advantage of that. $250,000 a year, Jay. You'd be tired every day.
Yeah.
Because you'd be partying all night long. All right, I'll finish with this one because I've still got several more, but we got more Thursdays coming up. This Instagram account found what they think is the worst fantasy football league based on their punishments. So even if you don't finish dead last, you still have to do punishments. Second, obviously the winner is the winner, but second place has to camp outside of the winner's league's house for 4 days, Thursday night through Sunday morning.
Ooh.
Third place, the winner has to spend 12 hours in Florida, Bama wearing a ski suit in July. The loser of the game has to do a bucket drum in the French Quarter. That's the third place game. So the winner has to go to Florida, Bama wearing a ski suit, and the loser has to go to French Quarter doing the bucket drum.
That's hilarious.
That'd be tough because those people are really talented.
Yeah.
The fifth place game, the fifth and sixth place winner has to audition for a role in a local Peter Pan play.
What is that? 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The 21st.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sixth place game, the sixth and seventh place has to spend their own money, fly to a WNBA game in another city, and buy a courtside seat. Watch the game without drinking, then immediately fly home without doing anything in the city at all.
Oh, dang.
I've been courtside a couple WNBA games.
Have you really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
When I was in rehabbing my hips in Arizona, our neighbor was a WNBA player for the Phoenix Mercury.
That's
Brittany
awesome.
Griner, Diane Taurasi, and
Yep.
yeah, it was fun.
That's cool.
That's all. I mean, a courtside seat in any game would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, the last place person would have to, the eighth place person would have to get a job at Burger King, work one shift. They must interview, get the job, or they must work one shift. They have to interview, get the job offer, and work one shift, and then they can quit. So I know we got to, Jay, you want to remind everybody one more time your new venture that you're doing and how people can book a party with Golf with Jay?
Yeah, it's hard to explain because it's this huge inflatable that 20 foot tall, 20 foot
Really?
long. It could withstand a Category 2 hurricane. I promise you. I mean, this
Hopefully we
thing.
won't
Is
have,
it,
Yeah, hopefully not. But
expedient to set up? I mean, is it hard to set up?
it takes an hour.
Okay.
But I'm still trying to, get that down a little bit. But there were some people that come up with some great names for it.
like the actual dome itself.
Yeah. And the one that keeps coming to mind is my good buddy Cliff came out with one called the Shank Tank. And I kind of
cool.
like that.
That's
I kind of
cool.
like that.
You don't want it to be happening in there, though.
No, but I love the name and kind of, Shark Tank, Shank Tank.
Hey, I was going to ask you. So, if you do shank one, though, is there any sort of liability? Can you hit it out of the thing or no?
No, this thing.
You have
here,
to send
it-
him or show him a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, but
I actually was honestly, and I know this is super. I'm glad you explained this. I thought it was just like a little net, maybe with a simulator.
Yeah.
Wait till you see it.
It's got like a big screen of like.
it's
Oh
it's
my
insane.
gosh.
It's basically
Yeah,
like
it's
a
insane.
Thunderdome.
Yeah. If I set this thing up on the side of the road, like you would have a.
It's
wreck.
like a bouncy house kind of idea.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
it-
exactly
oh,
Good
what
wow.
it
analogy.
is.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like a
wow.
bouncy house, but there's no bouncy house part.
Wow.
right.
Man, that's
Yeah.
super neat.
Yeah.
I was thinking it
So-
was like a net with a little screen, that you just.
And it's big. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people doing the indoor
Do
thing.
the rates vary based on?
Hours. You can book it for 4 hours. You can book it for a whole day. You can book it for the whole year. I mean, we can. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
We can work that out.
You can actually just buy it from me. No. I'm just teasing. Sorry.
Seeking active business
No, but
partners.
look, there's a lot of synergy going on right now. You got Top Golf, you've got Back Nine coming, you've got all of this golf stuff that's filtering into Bay County, and the synergy is I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's the deal. So
Well, don't forget too, you've got that new development coming up to Washington County with the Kaiser Group building that
Right.
Destination Golf
yeah,
up there. Which
we're
would
not
be
even
awesome.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Maybe another 18 holes at Water Sound. I mean, who knows, right? But there's a lot of golf stuff happening.
To me, it sounds very appealing. Like, come on, the busier we get, the older we get. To not have the commitment to get in the car and drive 18 holes, like to just stay in the same place and hit. I mean, that sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be definitely hitting you up. I didn't realize it was that big. I thought it was a little net.
Yeah, and
That's
that
the
may
real
be
deal.
yeah, I mean that may be up in Georgia you have big backyards. Here we don't have a lot of big backyards. So that's gonna be something to kind of think about. But it is 20 foot tall, 20 foot long.
Well, that's the thing. Like a
And-
lot of people are doing these home simulators now, but they're just putting it in their garage.
Yeah.
Right.
With with the net, with
Yes.
a mat, and then like a foresight or something like that.
Yeah.
But you have to have enough room to swing a golf club, and most people's garages are 8-9 feet. Some of them are 10, but not very many. So
Right.
the opportunity to try to do that yourself is few and far between. So
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing a great job capitalizing on a market
you.
that's certainly there.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to
I'm gonna look
talk.
you up.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Golfwithj.com.
Yeah.
No Y though, or no E, just
Yeah, JY.
Ends in Y.
I thought it was going to be like WLJ, worst looking J.
Yeah. You should buy that, or somebody should buy that
Domain.
blj.com.
They should. That's right. That's right.
Own that domain, have all your stuff point to it or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's funny.
Yeah. But no, thank y'all.
Ever, do I got time to do one more before I let Jay Chapman get us? I just thought this was an interesting one. Have you guys heard of the poly market?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jay, do you know what the
Can
poly
bet on anything.
Poly means many. Market means
Mini markets. Yep.
okay, mini markets.
You
Yeah,
can
you can-
basically bet on anything. An anonymous bettor pockets nearly $500,000 on Polymarket after correctly predicting that Nicolas Maduro would be removed from power by the end of January. The user, who was relatively new to the platform, wagered about $32,000 on Maduro's ousting and walked away with more than $400,000, according to his
Wow.
report. Sounds like he had a little
Inside knowledge for
info
sure.
there for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even know that
but,
was going on.
yeah, the poly market, you can just you can bet on anything, literally
Is
anything.
that Kalshi? Kalshi? Have you seen that app? Kalshi?
Yes, I
I've
have
seen
seen
that,
that.
but
app.
that's different than the
So-
poly
okay,
market.
I got you.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's the one where like you can like create bets with your friends and stuff. right?
Okay.
I think. Jay, one more time before we
Yeah,
go.
Chapman Wealth Management, right off of Hunt Cliff on Jinx. Any sort of financial venture that you need help navigating, we're here to help you walk through that. So thank you.
Appreciate you all tuning in today. Appreciate you gentlemen coming in again. I know you've done it many a time. I'm sure we'll do it again sometime here in the near future. Appreciate you tuning in. All the podcasts will be posted on all the places you get your podcast information. And of course, follow us on all of our channels as well: YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and beyond. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll be back next Tuesday.